look at how to create an exploded view of a model, and at the same time look at how to modify the physical appearances, or the physical materials of the model, and have those modifications reflected in a parts list. So let's dive in and take a look. For this demonstration, I'm going to use from the design samples folder, which you'll find here in the palette. The utility knife sample. Once you open the utility knife sample, what you're going to notice is that there's a padlock at the top, which indicates this file is read-only. So all we need to do is choose Save As to create our own copy of this file, and that copy can be modified. And what I'd like to do is make sure you navigate to the exercises folder on Team, and that's where we're going to save this exercise. So just put our first name there, exploded view of model. Click Save. Now you see the padlock has gone away, which indicates it's right. I'm going to close the data panel now, give myself a bit more room, and then get straight into how to create the exploded view. One thing to note: to create a exploded view of a model, the model needs to have components created from its bodies. Okay, so we can see in the design workspace here for this model we have these box icons which indicate components, and we can see that I can turn off, on and off all these different components, and that is a prerequisite for creating an exploded view. You need to make sure that every part of the model is its own component. Let's go ahead now and create that exploded view with the components. We're using the animation workspace to do this. In the animation workspace, if your playhead down here in the timeline is not set to 1 second, go ahead and make sure it is. Okay. We have here our familiar browser. We have a number of controls up here. What we're going to do is select a component, and then in this case the blade, go up to the transform menu, and we're going to use manual explode. Okay, when you click manual explode, you get an option for the trajectory you would like the part to explode on, and for this blade I'm going to bring it out in the logical direction that it will slide. You can see I just use this explosion scale slider to move it in and out. When you're happy with the distance, you can click OK. And then we're going to repeat the same action. When you want to repeat actions in Fusion, you can right click on your mouse and drag up north, and that can repeat the last action that you performed. So now I'm going to click the top grip and move that up vertically using the explosion scale slider. Click OK. Drag up again. This time I'll take the left body, or the left part of the grip. You can confirm the components by using the browser, and this is the left. You see it's underlined. I'm going to bring it out to the side here as suggested. You notice that both of these are moving out. I can actually only want to move out, so I'll cancel that, sorry, and select just the grip here, press E on the keyboard, and only bring out, explode to the side, the left side of the grip. I will now explode the right side out, making sure it is right, and I'll go out the same direction, like so. And then the last thing I will explode in this view will be using shortcut E, the grip, sorry, not this grip, but rather the grip at the back. So I'm going to move this one back, clicking that trajectory, and click OK. Okay. Now what's happening down here on the timeline, you'll see, is as I'm exploding these parts or these components, we have these little blocks of time which indicate the part. So here I can click and drag these blocks, and the width of the block corresponds to how much time it takes to be animated. So if I go back here with the time, you'll see as I move, the order in which I did the exploded parts, it moves in that order. Okay, I'm not too concerned with the animation itself. I'm just using this workspace to create an exploded view, but you could play around in here and you know, lengthen the time or shorten the time for each component, change the order, but that's for another video. So now we're going to, with the animation at the end, go up to the File menu and choose New Drawing. We're going to create a drawing from this animation. So go ahead and click that. Fusion will then prompt you for the storyboard. We're just going to use this default storyboard here. You'd use other storyboards for other parts in an assembly here. We're going to create a new drawing. We're going to do that from scratch using the ISO standard in millimeters, but we're going to choose the first option for A4, the sheet size. Click OK and give Fusion a few seconds to process that information in the cloud, and then open up a new drawing tab, and then you'll be presented with a new A4 sheet. At this stage you want to be careful where you click, because Fusion is waiting for you to position the exploded view. And we'll just take a moment to look at the options here in the drawing view. I'm going to use the home orientation. You could use different orientation. I quite like the orientation here. Style, we want to use the shaded style because this is for visual appearance, so I'll leave the style as such. Scale, in this particular case I'm going to use a 1:1 scale because I know it will fit on this A4 page. And so once you're happy with those options, you can position it somewhere in the center here and click once and then OK. So Fusion now has placed the exploded view, and now it's time to label the parts and create a parts list. And it's very simple. You can go up to the tables menu here and choose part list. Fusion will ask you what type of part list. We'll use the default type. You can see there we could create a custom table, we could create a part list, so on and so forth. In this case I'm just going to go with part list. I already have the model selected, that's why it's in blue. And then the structure, we'll just go for the default first level. Now what you need to do is just carefully position where you want the table to be, where you want this part list table to be displayed. And so I'm just going to make sure I have the header at the top there. That looks about right. Click once and you'll see you have balloons to show the part, and then a part list below that shows the odd item, the quantity, the part itself, an option here for you to describe it, and then the materials. You can see here the left and right grip is designed with a physical material of steel mild. We're going to quickly update that, and let's look at how that's done. We're going to go across to our exploded view of the model and switch back to the design environment. Once in the design environment, we're just going to select with the shift click both of the grips. In fact, sorry, that will be the left and the right side of the handle. Then we're going to right click those selected components and we'll choose physical material. Unlike appearances, physical material is, you might think of as being hard encoded or embedded into the model. The physical appearances is just for visual appearance. So I'm going to go down on the list here to plastics. We're going to change the physical appearance from mild steel, and our intent is to actually use ABS plastic to rapid prototype these handles. So you can click and drag the ABS plastic to the handle. Once you have done that, you can actually double click up here that material you've just applied, and you have from the advanced options the ability to make some changes to where it will come from, cost for example, some information about the product. We're going to go over here to appearance and change the color. So that's done here with this Pantone color library. So you can click this button and Yeah, sure, I'm going to go with a red Pantone. You can just select the Pantone you like and press OK. Press apply and then OK. You'll see that the material has now been physically updated to be that Pantone value. We'll click close and now we'll click save. This is important. So Command S to save, and I'll just say changed handle material to ABS. Okay, and that's our change. Now we come across to the drawing, and what you'll notice in the drawing view that the material hasn't updated. But if you look up here in the corner, we have a chain link and an exclamation mark, and this is giving us a clue that this needs to be updated. So you just simply click that and Fusion will update the material, and you'll see that the changes are reflected down here in the material column for the list.